This is a common result of a sunburn. Multiple sunburns are really dangerous for you. Because if you get skin cancer, it can put you down forever. That's one of the most dangerous types of cancers. The problem is the thymine dimer, it's a reaction of absorbing UV light. They bond together and they cause a bulky distortion in the DNA such that DNA replication can't get past this bulk. It's like a robot. It gets stalled and you can't copy the DNA. Now this happens all the time. We can't avoid sunlight because, well, I guess you could. It'd be like those ladies that wear those like big, like green shields. They look like moonmen walking around. Really? Come on. But they're actually being pretty smart. I laugh at it, but I always want to hit with my car. You look stupid. Or at least throw a rock at them, you know what I mean? They should throw rocks at cars. They got caught by the cops. Big trouble. All right. That was back when I was a juvenile delinquent. Okay, so what happens now? This is kind of a fuzzy slide because I borrowed it from the molecular biology of the cell. I'm trying to read it and I have to go to sleep. Sleeping pills, I just have this big book. Page and a half, you're gone. So if you've got a misspelling here, I think you can see it clear enough. There's the U misspelled the G because of deamination. Well, you don't have to know any of these details here, but what happens is there are enzymes in your nucleus that read the DNA sequence continually, looking for a misspelling. They all of a sudden, ooh, that's misspelled. It's like English teachers on steroids. They are pissed when you misspell, right? Well, they're called glycosylase, and there's endonuclease, and there's phosphodiesterase. We're not going to worry about that. Okay? And so it'll locate this angry English teacher with her hair in a bun. It's going to locate the misspelling. It's like when I was in Catholic school, man. The nuns, you screwed up and they hit you with a stick. This is, spoil the rod, spare the rod, spoil the child. So they wanted to make sure they didn't spoil you. Whack! Plus they were frustrated for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know. So the misspelling is removed. The enzymes recognize this misspelling, and they know that U doesn't belong to DNA, as I said. They digest it away, remove the base, chop out the sugar phosphate, and then fix it. Okay? And that starts to reduce the total error rate down to billions. Okay, from 1 in 10 million to 1 in billions. So now it works out. What was your repair mechanisms? If you're healthy, you end up with maybe 1 or only 2 mutations per cell division instead of 300. Okay. Now, this is for non-bulky damage. This is for misspellings, like a deamination. But if you have a thymine dimer, here they polymerize due to sunlight, UV absorbance. Well, what happens is some nuclease enzyme, we talk about nucleases, they chew out DNA. They'll see these blue diamonds here, inverted diamonds, or triangles. An enzyme will chew that piece out. Then polymerase comes in and seals it, replaces it. And so the 2 main repair mechanisms for misspellings and for bulky damage like a thymine dimer are base excision repair. This is to replace a misspelling. Like a U with a G. Chew out the U, return it back to a C. That's what's here. Just remove 1 base and fix it. This is for what we say non-bulky damage. It's just a misspelling. Okay? If you've got bulky damage like a thymine dimer because of too much UV sunlight, so we're talking about now bulky damage. For example, a thymine dimer. We use the repair mechanism is called nucleotide excision repair. Excision means to cut out. And so a whole piece of the DNA on the damaged side is chewed away and then replaced by a polymerase. DNA polymerase is usually the repairing enzyme. reduce the mutation rate to 1 in billions versus 1 in 10 million. That's significant. Now let's say you were a survivor of Hiroshima or Nagasaki. Heard of those cities? No? Heard of World War II? Well, the U.S. Air Force dropped a bomb at Hiroshima, nuclear bomb, the first time that happened in the history of the planet. The Japanese still wouldn't surrender. So we dropped a second one at Nagasaki. I actually know a woman who was a child at Nagasaki when that happened. She was in a cave. She saw the bomb get. The host guy went white. I'm like, wow. She's an elderly woman. She's a nurse that works with my wife. Well, that kind of radiation causes DNA to break. Most strands break. That produces the dangerous part is produces what's called ionizing radiation. So if we get into a nuclear war with North Korea, I don't think that's likely to happen. And we get nuked, and if you survive the blast, you're going to be exposed to ionizing radiation. And with that, that would be a total joke, except now it's not so much a joke anymore, because we got a madman who's very impulsive leading our country. But ionizing radiation leads to double-strand breaks in the DNA. So we don't have just one strand damage, it's a break, it comes apart. And actually, these also happen naturally. They also occur during replication. So you got to fix them. We have a repair mechanism. We have a double-strand break repair. And there's 2 ways to fix it. And the details I'm not going to ask you on an exam. But one is if you have a break here, because the replication happens when the replication fork breaks. It happens in every cell every time. It happens every time your cells divide, this happens. Every time. What happens is enzymes will chew the ends back because they figure there's a break here that the ends are damaged as well. And then it'll just seal them together. But you lost some DNA there. Well, okay, still. At least you restored the chromosome. Okay, it's called non-homologous end joining. But if there's another chromosome available, like a homologous chromosome, it can use that. Again, if there's a break, it'll kind of, again, chew back the ends to pull out all the damaged bases. And the homolog can serve as a template to restore the sequence, and you don't lose anything. That's called homologous recombination. I mention this because when gene therapy is on the verge of happening with that amazing enzyme called CRISPR-Cas, that you can edit a genome, what you do is you import this into a cell where you want to change the gene sequence. And if you send in the sequence that you want to insert, it'll follow this pathway and jam it in where you cut. Because this enzyme can cut out DNA, cut out a piece of DNA. You can guide it to cut out the piece you want. Which means if you then send in the correct template, it'll use this pathway to insert that template. That's starting to, that's if it's not happening yet, it's just about to happen. They've already shown they can do it in cells. It's definitely the proof of action, it works. Okay, now it's figuring out the way to deliver this payload into damaged cells in a human to correct their genetic errors that they inherited. If you don't see how this intact sequence can replace this, I'll show you the next slide. The next slide is complicated from the molecular biology itself. Just to give you an idea, and I won't hold you to it, so if you don't want to pay attention, it won't be in the exam, you're cool. But let's say you got 2 daughter molecules, okay, especially if you have sister chromatids after DNA replication. You got 2 exact copies, one from mommy, one from daddy, right? And so if there's a double-strand break in one, okay, well, you chew back the ends, and then one of these strands will invade the other, and uses as the template to replicate itself, and then release it, and seal it back, and you've restored the 2. Pretty cool. Does that make sense? I went through it real fast. But you use the intact sister chromatid as so you chew back in those are 3' end inserts, and DNA polymerase can extend that according to this base pair rule, which no longer exists in that one. So you restore that, and then it's released, and then DNA polymerase can continue this, got a template, you got it sealed. Perfect. Pretty cool, huh? So that's the future. So if you're headed off to university in the next couple of years, You might be using, we're using CRISPR-Cas at the Newmark Center now in one of our biotech classes. Pretty cool stuff. Okay, let's hit chapter 14 with a look at the heroes of this chapter. There's Francis Crick, Maurice Wilkins, who was producing the fibers of DNA at King's College London. There was his colleague, Dr. Rosalind Franklin. There's James Watson. As I told you Monday, in 1962, the gentleman there won the Nobel Prize in chemistry. I think it was in chemistry. No, I'm sorry, physiology and medicine, for their discovering the double helix of DNA. Of course, I described how it was her X-ray photographs that were the crucial piece of data that gave them the path to this success. She was left off the Nobel Prize because she passed away in 1958 at 37 years old of ovarian cancer. So she had a short, tragic life, but she was a tough gal, someone who should be admired, and whose name should be repeatedly mentioned in future generations for her contribution. And to remind you that even in forward-thinking scientists, these old habits of sexism persist. They should be fought at every level. Now, the last slide I want to show you, the last two slides of this chapter, is sometimes I used to wonder, how is DNA stored in a nucleus? Well, it turns out that this is an actual fluorescent photograph of the nucleus, that different parts of the nucleus actually are inhabited by particular chromosomes. And here they state each chromosome, all the 23 pairs, with a different fluorescent tag. It's called, it's a fish, it's not a fish, it's a fluorescent in situ hybridization study, where you take a antibody you generate against a chromosome, you take the fluorescent tag, different color, and you can find out where the chromosomes are. So each part of the nucleus has its own region where that chromosome is kept.